Hi madam, my name is MISLEADING. My metric number is 270590. We are from group 3 and our title for this group assignment is about AirAsia advertising misleading ticket price. AirAsia is a well-known organization in airline sector, particularly in Asia, and is one of the leading company in that area. Flying with AirAsia is dream come true for everyone. To be best company to work for, where employees are treated as a family member and the company is recognized as an Asian brand. AirAsia purpose to attain the lowest possible fare while maintaining the greatest possible quality product. To embrace technology to cut costs and improve service level and to establish an internationally recognized Asian brand. Based on Section 3 of Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Regulation 2016 by the Malaysian Aviation Commission, AirAsia and AirAsia X have been penalized for misleading advertisement for flight tickets. As we research, AirAsia has never been escaped from controversy which was addressed by AirAsia, which was penalized in 2018 for faulty advertisement air ticket costs. This incident occurred on December 4, 2018 when MEFCOM penalized AirAsia and AirAsia X for advertising inaccurate ticket pricing. The final tickets for air transportation service are provided or promoted by any airline in whatever form website must be specified based on the protection code. MEFCOM has issued an 116,000 fine on AirAsia Berhad and AirAsia X Berhad respectively.
Assalamualaikum and hello to Dr. Jauria and my fellow friends. My name is Nur Alisa Dayana binti Muhammad and my metric number is 270418. Okay, I will be presenting about my part regarding the discussion of the issue. Firstly is the ethical awareness. The ethical issue that can be observed in this case was the negligence of responsibilities towards consumers' rights. Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code, or known as MACPC, was created in 2016 under MEFCOM's goal of protecting consumers' rights and interests. The code establishes minimum service levels as well as criteria for meeting consumer needs, dealing with complaints and compensating consumers. All Malaysian aviation companies are obliged to follow the MACPC. However, AirAsia and AirAsia X had violated the MACPC, specifically subparagraph 3(1). The code implies that an airline must indicate the final price of plane tickets along with any taxes, fees, charges or surcharges to be paid to the airlines, and AirAsia failed to do so. This shows that AirAsia seems to be using deceptive practices towards consumers over the past years. Next is the consequences of the response. This unethical behavior should be forbidden because consumers will not know the full price and may be drawn to a transaction that they would not have to find intriguing or else and unwillingly pay extra payment instead of taking the trouble of withdrawing from the transaction and looking elsewhere. The company will have an advantage over rivals who are compliant, but surely it will not last long in this industry. According to Munusami and Shelia, winning customers over from competition is important, but retaining existing customers is even more important as it is more cost-effective. That being said, AirAsia might not be able to retain its existing customers when not only the company did not show its integrity through the advertisement, but also neglected its responsibilities towards consumers' rights. Therefore, this kind of behavior will have an impact on their customer satisfaction, and it is well known that customers' loyalty results from customer satisfaction. And lastly is how they solve this issue. MEFCOM penalized AirAsia and AirAsia X 160,000 ringgit in 2018 for falsely advertising airfares. Then in 2019, MEFCOM imposed an 200,000 ringgit monetary penalty for the first violation of MACPC subparagraph 3(2) for charging the credit card, debit card and online banking service charges separate from their base fares. However, both companies were accused of violating the same code again in the same year. As a result, MEFCOM has decided to impose a 2 million ringgit penalty on both airlines, which is 10 times the first financial penalty imposed as prescribed by Act 771. Okay, so I will pass the next slide to the next presenter. That is all from me. Thank you.
In this section, we will discuss the causes of advertising misleading air ticket prices by AirAsia. We can predict that 3 causes lead to this case. The first reason is there were some mistakes occur in the marketing department. Mistakes are very common in human beings. In this case, we can predict that maybe the working staff in the marketing department mistakenly put incorrect air ticket prices without his or her notice. The second reason that we can think of is the lack of a verification process before publishing to the public. Verification is the process of ensuring the accuracy, authenticity, or rationality of something. In this case, we can predict that the internal audit department did not undergo a proper verification process on the information created by the marketing department. Maybe the internal audit department just briefly go through all the information and approve it. The third and last reason that we can think about is the presence of the plus symbol after the price. The plus symbol or plus pricing strategy is very common in Malaysia. It includes taxes such as goods and services tax, GST or sales and service tax, SST, and also service charges charged by the business. In this case, we can guess that the marketing department did include the plus symbol after the price. It is considered a misleading act because the consumers must pay extra money upon the stated price. Now, we will move on to the impact of advertising misleading air ticket prices. The first impact of advertising misleading air ticket prices is on the customers. In this case, customers need to pay more than what AirAsia has advertised. It will increase the burden of the customers. The second impact of advertising misleading air ticket prices is on the company itself. In the aftermath of this case, the Malaysian Aviation Commission did impose a fine for an amount of 160,000 ringgit to AirAsia X Berhad and AirAsia Berhad. If AirAsia and AirAsia X did not advertise any misleading air ticket prices to the public, they will not be getting the penalty. Instead of using the money to pay the penalty, they can invest the money in training and development. Besides, they can invest the money in the infrastructure. Through better T&D and infrastructure improvement, it can provide a better service to the customers. The third impact of advertising misleading air ticket prices is on the airline industry. Due to this case, every airline company in Malaysia surely will pay extra attention to the advertisement of air ticket prices. This is because the airline companies do not wish to repeat the same mistake that AirAsia did. Besides, the airline companies would not like to receive a heavy penalty due to a small mistake that can be avoided. The fourth and last impact of advertising misleading air ticket prices is on customer rights. The act of advertising misleading air ticket prices by AirAsia falls under the non-compliance of subparagraph 3(1) of the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code 2016. Under this protection code, an airline company must state the final price of the air ticket to be spent by the customers. Besides, the final price of the air ticket should include taxes, fees, charges, and surcharges. In this case, customers will only know about the exact final price of the air ticket seconds before paying for the air ticket. It is considered as ignoring the customer rights.
Good day to Dr. Joria. My name is Emika Kupichai Anak Perempuan Samli. My matrix number is 270269. Today, I would like to present about the relation. First of all, the ethical theory that we have used in this report is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a concept or philosophy of normative ethics that examines action to promote utility, which is defined as a rise in happiness and decrease in suffering. Utilitarianism is also a morality theory that promotes activities that bring pleasure while criticizing actions that bring harm to others. The party that should take action on this issue is the civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAAM. The responsibility of CAAM intends to ensure that topics concerning the civil aviation industry in the country adhere to the ICAO's safety standard and procedures. CAAM must verify that the article display the ultimate amount of the airfare to be paid for the airline's air transportation services given or advertised to the customers. CAAM also need to take appropriate action so that customers are not easily deceived by misleading ticket prices. Therefore, AirAsia companies also must take appropriate action to overcome the problem of misleading ticket price in advertisements. This necessary step must be made to ensure that this behavior does not occur again in the future. The right theory is founded on ideas of justice and rights, which see moral leadership as entailing fair treatment and respect for individual rights. The right theories of business ethics is based on the idea that everyone has a right to life and that they should be treated with the high respect. Responsible agencies such as MAFCOM tend to defend customers' rights and interests. They must provide customers with more clarity on airline service providers' obligation to them, as well as clear guidance on their rights and interests as air travelers. The reason why action should be taken is that it will create confusion and losses to the customers. Besides that, as a humans, we also have to be aware that misleading advertisements, false information, or even propaganda are the spreading of false or misleading information through social media and communication platforms. They are serious concerns facing societies around the world, frequently resulting in very real harm. Therefore, the public has the right to know the service and information that is accurate and correct to facilitate a fast as users of the service so as not to be easily deceived by misleading information. For example, if we suffer a loss in the confusion of information supplied by the company, we have the right to fines of the company. This is so because it can help to prevent other customers from experiencing the same situation as us. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, in a conclusion, AirAsia is a well-known organization in the airline sector, especially in Asia, and is one of the leading company in Malaysia. A successful company brand starts from clear company vision and mission. So, flying with AirAsia is a dream come true for everyone. AirAsia must be able to compete with competitors and new entrants to maintain the company reputation to continue to be preferred airline for people who choose to use its services. In these issues, consistency is a key element in building a positive brand image, and AirAsia need to maintain the consistency of the company's services internally and over time. Despite the issues of misleading ticket price, AirAsia need to come with solution on how to solve the problem, as AirAsia have been developed in a focused, innovative and consistent manner. The issues faced by AirAsia will affect the brand image of the company if the issues are not being solved. The issue of misleading is not the work of the marketing department alone, but the involvement of all strategic departments as well as the top management to ensure internal consistency between the brand and strategy. Moving on, I will explain about the several lessons that can be learned from the issues of misleading advertisement on ticket prices that faced by AirAsia. Firstly, AirAsia needs to have the ability to keep promises and fulfill commitments to their customer to gain the customer trust. Trustworthiness is the most vital component to achieve success in any business because trust comes along with loyalty, whereby when the customer gain trust, they will stay loyal to AirAsia as they believe the brand is dependable and principled. Secondly, the ethical lesson learned is accountability. AirAsia need to conduct an ethical business by accepting responsibility for all the decisions made as a company and admitting their mistake to all of those may be affected by a misstep, especially the customer, employee, the airline industry, and the stakeholder. The misleading advertisement on ticket prices have affected the company itself, and AirAsia need to take responsibility as they need to accept any consequences that result from the mistake. Last but not least, AirAsia need to be transparent when representing fact, telling a truth, and communicating clearly and openly about the issue faced by the company, as it is the foundation of a strong relationship with customer, which directly impact the stability and success of the company. By being transparent, AirAsia has the ability in providing excellent services and promises which is to enable everyone to fly. To make the vision come true, AirAsia must strive on working to deliver the greatest quality of service to their client and customer.